Ladies and gentlemen, there's a certain kind of beauty that only time can bestow, a beauty born of resilience, grace, and authenticity. You may look in the mirror and see only the faint lines that map your journey, but let me tell you this, those lines are not flaws, they are signatures of a life lived fully. Today, I want you to pause and listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Because whether you believe it or not, you are more stunning now than you've ever been. And by the end of this message, you'll understand why. What makes a woman truly beautiful as she grows older isn't just her reflection, it's the light that shines from within. It's the quiet confidence in her step, the wisdom in her smile, and the strength in her eyes. Stay with me, because we're about to uncover 12 signs that prove you are indeed a good-looking older woman, even if you don't think so. These aren't just superficial markers, they're truths rooted in who you are, not just what you appear to be. As we begin this journey together, let's talk about one of the most powerful indicators of beauty, confidence. But not just any kind of confidence, the kind that is rooted in experience. Think about it. When you were younger, confidence might have felt like something you had to work hard for. You sought approval, tried to fit into molds, and worried constantly about how others perceived you. But with time, something magical happens. The hunger for external validation fades, and in its place grows a quiet assurance. This confidence doesn't shout, it doesn't demand attention. Instead, it's like a tree that has weathered countless seasons, its roots digging deeper with each passing year. It's the kind of confidence that comes from knowing you've faced life's storms and still stand tall. Let me share a story. A woman I once met in her early 70s said she used to obsess over every wrinkle, every strand of silver hair. She'd shy away from social gatherings, fearing judgment. But then one day, she looked in the mirror and realized something profound. Each line on her face was a testament to her strength, her laughter, her tears. It wasn't just her reflection she was seeing, it was her story. That realization changed her. She started walking into rooms with a new energy, not because she was seeking approval, but because she no longer needed it. People noticed, not just her presence, but the warmth and grace she exuded. This is what makes confidence so magnetic. It's not about perfection or pretending to have it all together. It's about embracing who you are, scars and all, and moving through life with authenticity. And here's the beautiful part, this kind of confidence grows stronger with time. It shows in the way you hold your head high, in the steadiness of your voice, and in the way your eyes meet the world without hesitation. As we move forward, let's uncover more of these signs that reveal the beauty you may not even realize you possess. Next, we'll talk about the quiet elegance that comes with embracing your authentic self. Let's talk about elegance. It's a word we often associate with outward appearances, perhaps the way someone dresses or their posture. But true elegance, the kind that captivates and inspires, is much deeper than that. It's about how you carry yourself, how you move through life, and how you embrace the essence of who you are. As we grow older, we begin to understand that elegance doesn't come from chasing trends or trying to fit into someone else's idea of beauty. Instead, it comes from a quiet confidence, a sense of knowing who you are and being at peace with it. Imagine this, you walk into a room. You're not seeking attention, but the way you hold yourself naturally draws people in. It's in the calmness of your movements, the steadiness of your gaze, and the grace in your smile. That's the kind of elegance that can't be taught. It's earned through years of living, loving, and learning. A woman I once knew shared a beautiful insight. She said, "I used to think elegance was about having everything perfectly in place, my outfit, my hair, my makeup. But now, I realize it's about the way I feel inside. When I'm calm, content, and true to myself, that's when I feel my most elegant. This kind of quiet elegance becomes more profound with time. It's not about impressing others, it's about embodying your truth. And what's truly remarkable is how contagious this energy is. People are drawn to those who radiate authenticity because it makes them feel comfortable, even inspired, to embrace their own. So, take a moment to think about how you show up in the world. Is it with intention? With purpose? True elegance doesn't demand attention, it simply exists. It's the way you walk, the way you speak, and the way you respond to life with grace and resilience. Next, let's explore how the marks of your journey, the lines, the scars, and the stories, add to your strength and beauty in ways you may not have imagined. Have you ever thought about the stories your scars tell? Not just the physical ones, but the emotional ones too. Each mark, each wrinkle, and each change in your appearance is like a chapter in the book of your life. They don't define you as flawed, they define you as resilient. Consider this: every scar represents a challenge you've overcome, a lesson you've learned, or a moment of growth. Perhaps it's the result of raising a family, pursuing a career, or simply navigating the ups and downs of life. Whatever the case, these marks are symbols of your strength, not your weakness. I once met a woman who used to hide her scars, both physical and emotional. She'd say, "I don't want people to see my pain." But over time, she realized that her scars were nothing to be ashamed of. They were reminders of her courage, her ability to endure, and her determination to keep going. When she embraced them, something incredible happened. She felt freer, lighter, and more confident in her own skin. This shift in perspective is so powerful. When you stop seeing your scars as imperfections and start viewing them as badges of honor, you transform the way you feel about yourself. You're no longer defined by what happened to you, you're defined by how you rose above it. And here's the thing: people notice this strength. They see it in the way you carry yourself, in the way you speak, and in the way you show compassion to others. It's an inner beauty that radiates outward, touching everyone around you. Your scars, your lines, your stories, they're not something to hide. They're something to celebrate. Because they remind you of all the times you could have given up, but didn't. They remind you that you're still here, standing tall, and moving forward with grace. In the next part of our journey, let's explore how embracing your authenticity adds a whole new dimension to your beauty and the way you connect with the world. When we think about beauty, society often paints it as something external, a flawless appearance, a perfect smile, or a youthful glow. But as life unfolds, we come to realize that true beauty is something much deeper. It's found in authenticity, in the courage to show up as your genuine self, without apology or pretense. In a world that constantly tells us to change, to fit in, or to be someone else, choosing to embrace your authenticity is a powerful act. It's a statement that says, "This is who I am, and I am enough." And that kind of self-assurance, it's magnetic. Think about the people who leave the deepest impression on you. They're rarely the ones who try to dazzle with perfection. Instead, they're the ones who radiate warmth and realness, the kind of beauty that comes from within. That's the beauty of authenticity. I remember hearing a story about a woman who spent years trying to live up to impossible standards. She felt trapped, always chasing approval. But one day, she decided to let go of what others expected and started living for herself. She wore clothes that made her feel joyful, spoke her truth, and stopped worrying about being judged. And do you know what happened? People began noticing her not because she was trying to stand out, but because her authenticity made her shine. Being authentic doesn't mean being perfect. It means embracing all of who you are, the quirks, the imperfections, the lessons you've learned. It's about recognizing that your unique journey is what makes you beautiful. And when you fully step into that truth, you give others permission to do the same. Authenticity also deepens your relationships. When you show up as your true self, you build connections that are rooted in trust and understanding. You no longer feel the need to hide or pretend, and that openness draws others to you in ways that superficial charm never could. So, as you look in the mirror, remember this: your authenticity is your superpower. It's the essence of what makes you unforgettable. And it's a kind of beauty that only grows stronger with time. From here, let's explore how wisdom, gained through life's trials and triumphs, enhances not only your beauty but also your relationships with those you hold dear. Every woman's journey is unique, filled with moments of joy, struggle, and growth. It's the tapestry of these experiences that creates a beauty unlike any other, one that cannot be replicated or compared. When you take a step back and reflect on your life, what do you see? Perhaps you see challenges that once felt insurmountable, victories that brought you pride, and moments of quiet resilience that shaped the person you've become. Your story is unlike anyone else's, and that is where your true beauty lies. It's in the lessons you've learned, the strength you've gained, and the wisdom you now carry. Yet, too often, we forget to honor our own journey. We focus on what we haven't achieved or what we think we've lost, instead of celebrating how far we've come. I remember speaking with a woman in her 70s who shared a poignant realization. She had spent much of her life comparing herself to others, friends, colleagues, even strangers. But as she aged, she began to see the futility of those comparisons. She told me, "I stopped looking at what others had and started appreciating what I'd built for myself, a life filled with love, growth, and meaning." That's when I finally felt beautiful. This shift in perspective is powerful. It's about recognizing that your journey is yours alone, and it's worth celebrating. The setbacks, the triumphs, and everything in between have brought you to this moment, shaping you into the remarkable woman you are today. When you embrace your unique journey, you start to see beauty in places you once overlooked. You realize that the lines on your face are not signs of aging, they're markers of laughter, of challenges overcome, of a life well lived. You understand that your value isn't tied to what society deems beautiful but to the strength and character that only you possess. So, take a moment to honor yourself. Reflect on the path you've walked and the lessons you've learned along the way. There is beauty in every step of your journey, and that beauty radiates from within. This understanding brings us to something even more profound, the idea that aging itself is not something to resist but a gift to be celebrated. Let's take a closer look at why embracing the privilege of growing older can transform the way you see yourself and your life. Aging is often seen as something to fight against, something to resist. Society bombards us with messages that youth equals beauty, and anything else is less valuable. But what if we flipped that perspective? What if we saw aging for what it truly is, a privilege, not a loss? Think about it. Every year you've lived is a testament to your resilience, your adaptability, and your capacity for growth. Not everyone gets the chance to see their hair turn silver, to watch their children grow up, or to gain the wisdom that only time can provide. Aging is a gift, a journey, and a reminder of the richness of life. I once met a woman in her 80s who radiated confidence and joy. When asked about her secret, she smiled and said, "I stopped worrying about turning older the moment I realized how many people didn't get to. Every year is a blessing, and I've learned to celebrate it." Her words stuck with me because they highlighted a profound truth: aging is not a curse, it's a privilege denied to many. When you embrace this perspective, the way you see yourself begins to change. The lines on your face are no longer something to hide, they're symbols of laughter and love. The changes in your body no longer feel like a burden, they're reminders of a life lived fully. This isn't about ignoring the challenges that can come with aging. It's about recognizing the strength you've built along the way. Every challenge you faced, every triumph you've achieved has shaped you into the person you are today. And that person is someone to be celebrated. When you start to see aging as a privilege, you free yourself from the pressure of trying to stay the same. You begin to embrace who you are right now, with all your wisdom, experience, and unique beauty. So, let's pause and reflect. What moments have shaped you? What lessons have made you stronger? By celebrating these, you can redefine what aging means to you. It's not about loss, it's about growth, connection, and embracing life's every stage. And speaking of redefining perspectives, let's explore how self-love plays a crucial role in amplifying your beauty and enriching your life in ways you might not expect. Let's take a moment to talk about self-love, a concept that often feels easier to understand in theory than to practice. But here's the truth: self-love is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And as you grow older, it becomes one of the most powerful tools you have to nurture your beauty, your confidence, and your happiness. When you think about it, self-love isn't about being selfish or ignoring others. It's about giving yourself the same care and compassion that you so willingly offer to those around you. And the beauty of self-love is that it doesn't diminish as you age, it deepens. I remember a conversation with a woman in her 70s who said, "For most of my life, I thought loving myself meant looking perfect or achieving more. But as the years passed, I realized self-love is about acceptance, embracing who I am, flaws and all." Her words are a powerful reminder that true self-love isn't tied to how you look or what you've accomplished. It's about seeing yourself as worthy, just as you are. When you start to practice self-love, something incredible happens. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop measuring your worth by external standards. Instead, you focus on what truly matters: your well-being, your joy, and your peace of mind. This shift in perspective not only changes the way you see yourself but also the way others see you. There's a radiance that comes from within when you're at peace with yourself. It shows in your smile, in the way you carry yourself, and in the way you interact with the world. Practicing self-love doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as speaking kindly to yourself, setting boundaries, or taking time to do the things that bring you joy. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be cared for, not just by others but by yourself. So, ask yourself this: when was the last time you truly appreciated yourself? When was the last time you looked in the mirror and said, "I am enough"? Because you are. And the more you embrace that truth, the more beautiful you become, not just in the eyes of others, but in your own. As we approach the final thoughts of this journey, let's reflect on how these realizations, confidence, authenticity, wisdom, and self-love, come together to create a beauty that is truly timeless. As we bring this journey to a close, let's take a moment to reflect on what makes beauty truly timeless. It's not about chasing perfection or clinging to youth. It's about embracing who you are at every stage of life and understanding that your value is so much more than skin deep. Timeless beauty is found in the way you carry yourself, with confidence born from experience, with grace that comes from self-acceptance, and with wisdom that can only be gained through living. It's in your authenticity, your ability to show up as the truest version of yourself, and your willingness to embrace both the joys and challenges that have shaped you. Think back to the moments that have defined your life. The triumphs, the trials, the lessons learned along the way. These moments are what make you unique, what give you depth and strength. They've created a beauty that isn't fleeting or superficial but enduring and profound. I once heard a woman in her late 80s describe her journey. She said, "The most beautiful I've ever felt wasn't when I was young or when I had the perfect dress. It was when I realized I didn't need to be anyone but myself." Her words capture the essence of what it means to embody timeless beauty, accepting yourself fully, without conditions. And here's the truth: people notice this kind of beauty. It's not in the way you look, but in the way you make others feel. It's in the kindness in your voice, the strength in your presence, and the light in your eyes. So, as you stand here today, know this: you are beautiful, not despite your years but because of them. You are strong because of what you've overcome. You are wise because of what you've learned. And you are radiant because you've embraced yourself for who you are. As you move forward, carry this truth with you: your beauty is timeless because it comes from within. It's a beauty that doesn't fade with age but grows richer, deeper, and more meaningful. And now, I'd love to hear from you. What part of this message resonated most with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more uplifting content. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, your beauty, your wisdom, and your strength are gifts to be celebrated every single day.